And we're live.
Oh, hey. Slide over this way.
Yeah, let's get away from the chat. The chat. It's Miguel. Hey, Miguel, how's it going? Oh, yeah, Miguel wanted to bring up Dragonlance. Did you see any of the Twitter, anything going on Twitter with Margaret Weiss?
What's Twitter?
Sorry, whatever that is. Formerly known as Twitter.
No, I didn't, because I didn't like to stay off that cesspit. Right. Unless it's to, like, get a few, like...
Right. Well, the screenshots make it onto other platforms, don't
they? They do. Yep. But I didn't hear about the Dragonlance thing.
Yeah, so I guess she's really disappointed, of course, at the cancellation, and then Hasbro, in one of their, I think it was a shareholder meeting, the reason that they gave Joe why Dragonlance is not going to happen is the board game sold like crap. Nobody's interested in Dragonlance, and she's like, hey, come on, because they've still got they're releasing books, right. They're still doing the Dragonlance books coming out in like August or something. So she was so that was finished off with a DM saying, think about running 5e Dragonlance, and her reply was, don't. So she's done with Hasbro.
Or just D&D 5e.
Yeah, right. So. Hey, what do we got here? Thanks for the sub.
Very cool. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I gotta have my windows open to know what's going on here. Very cool. Yes. Oh, there we go. So, so what have you been up to? Anything gamey?
The only thing kind of gamey, wargaming related, is the massive order I put in for the February sale from Osprey Games.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. What did you?
Copy of Oathmark.
Nice.
Like the 2 supplement books. They were out of one. I forget which one. Mm-hmm. The Frostgrave Wildwoods supplement, like the latest one, which we got we got to like restart a campaign.
Yeah.
Or even play Stargrave for the first time.
Yeah, right.
And I also got a hard copy of Dragon Rampant.
Oh, cool.
Pikeman's Lament, which is the shot and pike era version.
Yeah, I heard good things.
And Rebels and Patriots, which cool. I thought was the black powder kind of era. Turns out it is black powder, but like North America, colonials to Civil War. So he specifically, Daniel Mercier is specifically focused on like North America,
right,
which is kind of interesting.
Oh, cool.
I didn't get the Men Who Would Be Kings. It's like colonial era, and I'm like, but like I think I might, because like I have zero interest in replaying any kind of Civil War nonsense, right?
Right?
Or any kind of like colonial era. Like I don't want to do British versus Zulus, right? But I might have to pick it up because as uninterested as I am in replicating historical battles, I am interested in seeing how mechanics are used to emulate the tactics, equipment, and kind of areas of different historical things.
Right.
Like one thing from Rebels and Patriots, they said, you know what? All the dense terrain and forest stuff in North America means that cavalry really wasn't used. So there's like one cavalry entry compared to like Pikeman's Lament, where cavalry was really used, right? So I'm interested in that kind of different stuff. Not the, I don't want to replay any kind of Civil War.
Right. You can all be Xenos.
Right? Yeah, that's what it is. Like, and like that was the thing. I'm like, okay, time to use like the fantasy upgrade option.
Yes, right.
Over here. So yeah. So
you're going to upset, like our live stream's going to get out there, and you're going to upset some alien race. It's like, I can't believe they're making fun of what we went through. Oh, man. Nice. Oh, hey, Orcus. How's it going?
Did I just piss off all the historical wargamers?
No. Orcus is talking about the Margaret Weiss stuff. Yeah, that's funny. But, I
kind of wonder what kind of the relationship is. Because, like, I don't think it's spec work, right?
Oh, yeah.
What I mean is, like, okay, there's authors who own their stuff, and then there's authors who write for companies, and it's like this is kind of, in the latter case, like this is no longer yours, right?
Yeah, and I guess we'll never know, because didn't they settle out of court the lawsuit? Because they were owed once.
They were owed, and they just kind of settled.
Yeah, so we don't know that never became public, right? Yeah, that contract would have been there, it would have been in the discovery, but. Yeah, we'll never know. And obviously she doesn't care about, bad-mouthing them and voicing frustration. So obviously they are, probably have something signed in their,
I wonder who owns what IP. Like, I'm sure, like, the authors will continue, if they want to write Dragonlance stuff, but what is owned IP wise, what is owned by them and what is owned by Hasbro.
Setting wise, I wonder. I think when Wizards bought it and then Hasbro bought it, I think all of those IPs, I don't know if anything is carved out because they couldn't write, or they were threatening, I think, to have other people write Dragonlance books for a while. I think that's...
Well, I wonder if those rights have like reverted, or if it was for a certain amount of time, or if some kind of contract had to be renewed, or what? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm curious about that too, because I think it sounds like Hasbro, they just recently... said we're not a toy company anymore. We're a board game company. They're really shitty at making board games. But I'm interested in how they're going to move forward with that. We got a nice comment from Casey about the kind of history of Avalon Hill, like how great they did with like the history of the great games that they produced, like almost like 80s and 90s,
like the old,
and now.
Hex and Chit war game stuff?
Yeah, or even the more recent, like the...
like Axis and Allies.
Yeah, right, the Axis and Allies era. So they did a lot of great stuff. Now they're using that brand again, so hopefully they're going to elevate them. Hasbro is seeming to want to cut costs everywhere, so I think components and everything are going to be even worse, because that was my biggest disappointment in the kind of Kickstarter era of board game quality that we're in. They released that Hero Quest with a bunch of, one-sided
I saw
tiles.
that was pretty embarrassing.
It's like, really, you can't even put a black color on the back. It's just like white.
It's the negative space dungeon. Everything is white on the back.
Yeah. So they're trying to cut costs that way, and so it sounds like they want to move into kind of what Games Workshop has figured out. Just license. If we own an IP, just license it to somebody. Let them take the risk, because like HeroScape is coming out in a real form with different boxes, different tiers by Renegade Studios or whatever the third party company is that's going to be doing those things, and they're going to release it correctly, but they're taking all the risks. And Hasbro is just like, you can pay us the licensing fee.
Okay, but like Games Workshop has tangent. Games Workshop has a noticeable and like licensable IP, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Hasbro has.
What's Hasbro got?
G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony. They're gonna.
I rescind my comment. Okay,
yeah,
fine. Like
but Wizards of the Coast.
Wrong, right?
Wizards,
I was only thinking like, what do they got? Like Battleship and Monopoly and like.
Monopoly
you know what?
Hot, yeah.
I will say this: the Battleship movie
was
good.
Yes.
Like it like flipped over from that so bad to it's good.
But
right?
that's why it was Hasbro's D&D, because they were successful with that movie. Now they're putting their name on every
guess
one
so.
of their games.
Like I want to see like Hasbro, like the Monopoly movie, right? Like I'll actually give it a chance based on Battleship, but we're like Hasbro, Twixt, right? Remember,
there you go.
Remember like anyway.
Well, actually if they did a movie about the history of Monopoly, that game, because it was kind of a stolen game.
Oh yeah,
so that would have been.
See, I don't trust them enough to actually tell the truth.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
It would just be like a propaganda movie.
hero story. Yeah,
we liberated this from the communists.
Yes, we saved it. Yes. Yeah, so it's going to be weird. That was a really weird statement for Hasbro to make. Oh, we don't make toys. It's like, oh yeah, because you can't sell toys. I guess you're going to stop making toys, but you are a toy company.
Okay, if you can't sell something, stop making it. Right?
Mm-hmm. But it sucks because they have the Star Wars license and everything. So that means we're done with that era. That Kenner era of. And it's just because I think they realize they don't know how to sell toys to kids anymore. They just know how to sell toys to like middle-aged men.
I forget where I saw it, but I think
depressing.
I saw someone online a while back said that, like, yes, they don't know how to market, right? Mm-hmm. They just kind of put these toys out and expect people to buy them because they're there. Whereas, like, no, you actually got to like.
Right. Well, and also the collapse of toy stores really hurt that too, because now it's just like it's Walmart, the toy aisle of
online retailers.
Yeah, right? or like, Amazon, yeah.
Not so much here, because there's still toy stores here, right, in Japan, right? Mm-hmm. But like, I have to think that like gone are the day, or like go into like Toys R Us or KB Toys and just like walking on after like aisle after aisle after aisle of all these toys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that has really changed. Hey, Soviet Gnome, how's it going? Oh, cool. Oh, hey, correction. Yes. Soviet Gnome says Toys R Us is back in the U.S. I saw the last thing I saw about them is they were doing like pop-up stores in like Macy's or something. But no, I guess somebody resurrected the brand. I think somebody brought, they wanted.
Toys R Us is back.
They wanted Jeffrey.
Just not selling toys, right?
Yeah, right.
we bought the name and Jeffrey. It's not selling toys.
Right. It's all medical marijuana now. Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, Mall of America. Nice.
You know what? It probably is.
Yeah, all right. Toys R Us is in Mall of America. That's funny. Yeah, because I know that somebody has that name, like somebody has that trademark, and they're trying to do stuff with it. And
Medical marijuana.
and maybe maybe that's the way to go. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I think that's really changed things. I think it is, and also kids are like on screens. You know, their play is digital. Yeah, because babies have iPads. Yeah.
My baby turns on. I don't have a baby. But, okay, like, yes, I'm not disputing that. But what I am, like, want to add, and we're getting all kinds into it, right? Like, gone are the places where kids could congregate outside of the house, right? Like, remember, when, like, not that we're that, but remember, like, when we were kids, like, you go out to the park, you go out somewhere, right? And you wouldn't get, like, chased off with a broom. Like, the increase of hostile architecture, and, like, there's no places to go hang out, so what the fuck do you expect kids to do except look at a screen? Right?
No, yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, it's not a direct relation, and these two things, right? But, I mean, maybe if we introduce places where kids could go to do stuff, right?
Wow, what a novel idea. Yeah,
Anyway.
they've reverted to a virtual spaces. All right, well, good to see everybody
Now I'm thinking of the fucking Oasis from Ready Player One. What a god-awful book and movie that is. Right? Anyway, sorry.
It's got a sequel, right? Doesn't it? I think.
Does.
Yeah, we're going to get a movie.
Oh, I hope to God we're not.
All right, yeah, Mall of America, nice. Isn't that? I heard that's very Somali now because it's very close. I think it's very close to wherever Michigan or whatever parts in the north. Minnesota, whatever, a very heavy Somali community. So the Mall of America is very Somali now. Somebody was like walking through. It's like, yeah, of course. It's like it's their local mall. So
interesting.
And that that's a very American experience. A mall with a roller coaster in it.
Well, yeah, because my mall had a roller coaster too. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Okay. Well, let's get started. So good. Right. Yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Orcus and Miguel and Soviet Gnome. Now we'll see what's going on this week.
Now I'm trying to think of some version of in Soviet Russia. Gnome, what you? I don't know. I don't want to know. Maybe.
Yes, maybe not. All right. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Chaosium Design Challenge.
Ooh, I saw this. Yep.
Dune Sale and Bundle. Grimdark Call of Duty. Okay. Talking about licensing. Okay. Mass Effect board game and AIien Nexus.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So let's start off. Yeah, so a couple of funny things. So are you ready to win $10,000?
I am.
So Chaosium, the makers of Call of Cthulhu, are offering $10,000 worth of cash prizes to aspiring RPG designers.
Yep, I saw this, and I clicked on the link and read it. Yep.
Yes, and it was a $10,000. Okay, yeah, you could publish a book. You could make a game for $10,000. That would pay for the design time. Well, that's $10,000 total.
Yeah.
So so they're trying to support new and upcoming talent. So there's $10,000 in prize money for amateur designers for their Basic Roleplay Universal Game Engine Design Challenge. So anybody from anywhere in the world can create a tabletop title using their system, and in the most recent version of their system, which I think is under the Orc. So it's the D100 system, roll under mechanics, first appeared with 70s RuneQuest. And so this is their re-release, a 2023 re-release of the Basic Roleplay Universal Engine core game book is what they're basing this challenge on.
I just realized something. I'm going to save it for the
end.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the entrance can be digital or physical, but here's the requirements. You must explain your interpretation of the Basic Roleplay rules, explain the unique qualities of your bespoke system, your narrative setting, or tabletop game. You must submit a production budget for the project and how you would use the money awarded to you from the design challenge. Outline how and where their RPG is best marketed.
That's where I kind of fell off. Like, I started reading.
Isn't that your fucking job?
I'm like, okay. And then I got to the part about like submitting a budget, and I'm like, right. Never mind.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, for 10. Okay, I understand that. For $10,000, yeah, I could. That's a decent size amount of money. It's a good budget for a first time designer, but It's not. Yeah, you're.
But what I understand is like it's like that's the pool.
Yeah, it is.
They're
It
doing
is.
from. So they might select. I didn't get to anything about how many they're going to select.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't.
We'll
know how to
do
break
that
it up, right?
rundown. But Chaosium has this to say: so financially assisting new and upcoming creators will empower designers from all walks of life with original ideas, concepts, and systems, with a goal of seeing all shortlisted entries eventually published. So there's an eventual trio of winners. And they will receive trophies and award logos to put on their published material. And so you can expect to see continued promotion on Chaosium channels as they work towards their eventual publication. So they are, the three at least are, they're going to take them all the way to publishing. But they want you to do all the work. I guess give them maybe explain to them like how you're seeing this game focus, like the audience maybe.
Because I started reading this and then I got to the part about the submitting the production budget and all this stuff, and I went, nope, I'm not going to do that, right? But from a company standpoint, this weeds out the chaff, right? Like, we don't want your half-baked maybe ideas. You got to come to us with a clear plan, showing that you've done the research about how much it's going to cost to produce this, what best, and I get it, right?
Yeah, with a better chance.
Yeah,
of
personally, I can go, that's too much work, right? But professionally, I can go, no, this is smart, right? Otherwise, you're just going to get a whole bunch of submissions that you're going to have to weed through, right? But anyway. Yeah.
Yes, so they will shortlist 10 projects to receive an initial $500 prize. And then they will choose 3 winners that will be presented with an additional $2,000 each. Okay. Then there will be a player's choice that will earn a separate $500 prize. So yeah, so at least 10 projects are going to see some financial gain from it. So at least the time will be paid for. Maybe that you.
It's kind of like 11 because there's 10 that get what, 200.
The short list of 10 will receive an initial $500.
Oh, 500.
Yeah.
Then it sounds like there's
and maybe 3 from that.
A separate one that's the player's choice that gets 500.
Oh, right.
So it sounds like there's 11, and then from the 10 that got shortlisted, 3 get an additional $2,000.
Right. Yes, I guess $2,500. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's a small crowdfunder. So that was, but yeah, as soon as I saw that we want a budget for $500, it's like, really, I'm gonna budget $500 for you? Yeah, that's all marketing. That's basically marketing. And I'll do
what
the
I
design
think that does is it kind of reduces the pool to submissions that are already well planned, right? Already close to production, where it's just we're all ready to go. Why not submit this thing? Or we're really close. Let's quick convert our stuff to burp, right? And then whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So if that may be a nice thing to help them find somebody to be working with, if they helped carry someone to publication, and then there could be future work together, collaboration, or at least support. You'll have people that have experience that you could, you have contact, you have email and, phone numbers for.
It allows Chaosium to develop their own in-house stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and the important thing, too, is the contest, they do not sign any rights over to Chaosium.
That was my next question.
Yeah, so the whether you win or not, or whatever you submit, you will retain the entire rights to your work. So, cool. Yeah, so that's a good way to do it, because I think companies often here's a logo design contest, and we'll just keep everything, it has a character design contest, and we own everything you send us.
That was I didn't see the thing about the rights, but that was my second thing, who owns this after you submit it, right?
Yeah, so I think they're right-headed, but that's a little bit surprising. They want you to do as much footwork, but like you said, it's it's going to stop the lazy submissions. I've had this banging around for a while.
As someone who is very lazy, right. I immediately said, you're weeding people like me out. Gotcha. All right.
Budget.
Yeah, budget. What's that? Yep.
Right. Well, I was talking about 4 years ago. I think it was 2020, pre-pandemic, the year of Dune. Dune was coming out, and everything was turning up Dune, and Dune,
not Doom, right? Okay.
Dune, yeah. Everybody thinks I'm saying Doom when I say Dune. I have to do the more British Dune, more British pronunciation.
Just say Frank Herbert's Dune.
Yeah, Frank Herbert, yeah, right. So Frank Herbert's Dune is it's here. Part 2 is here. So we've had part 1, and it was delayed as well because it should have been last year. So we're getting this extended Dune thing that's happening, but this year it's getting some real attention because everything's kind of cleared away. People can go shopping. People can do things now. And so Dune Part 2 is in theaters, at least not here yet, but in North America. So the sequel to, I guess the second part of the first book is in theaters, and there's discounts on all of the books on most of the online retailers.
Yep.
So you can get discounted if you want to read the novels. You can get good prices on those. And Humble Bundle is joining in with an $18 bundle, which is pretty amazing because it represents pretty much everything that's been published for the game.
Modiphius
Modiphius,
wow,
the Modiphius 2D20. So the Humble Bundle is for Dune, the Adventures in the Imperium, the 2D20 Modiphius game, and they've had. So there is a recent book release that kind of coincides with this this new movie that is the fall.
Sex fight.
Yes,
manual?
exactly.
No, okay, all right.
It's the fall of the Imperium. So you basically take the rise of Muad'Dib. It's basically playing in that, depending on where you are and how connected you are to Arrakis with your house. You can play through that, and they've also released a collection of things that were released only digitally, the PDF adventures. But those are the only things that aren't included. But all of the PDF adventures separately are included in this bundle. So it's a huge amount of stuff. So basically everything that they've produced. And if there's anything you want physically from that, they're also giving you 50% discount on their store. So yeah, that's a pretty nice deal. And so $18, that's a core rule, character sheets, game master's tools, and over a dozen supplements that they've released so far. And some of them, they're about 100 and so pages, 150 pages. Yeah, they're pretty decent. And kind of focusing on mechanics that they didn't want to put in the core book, like the how to run the house, like how to actually do mechanics for tracking the growth and how you're taking over a planet or whatever, and then also more details about Arrakis if you want to play deeper into Fremen or the spice production. There's like systems for mining spice and all kinds of groovy stuff. So yes, and it starts for as little as $1. So for $1 you get the entire Agents of Dune box set digitally, the quick start rules, and then also the 50% discount. But that's $1 and you can be playing Dune. So that's pretty amazing because it's like 5 pre-gen characters and a campaign to play with your fantasy house. The Agents of Dune is kind of a what if scenario. So instead of Atreides, it's like, we swapped you guys in, but the interesting part of the setting is the first thing that you do is receive training. Kind of the learning the mechanics part is you go to Gidi Prime and receive training for how they advise you to run Arrakis. So they give you some pretty bad advice.
I was just going to say, I'm going to Gidi Prime to train, okay.
And you immediately get assassinated. But but I think it's an interesting, the focus of it is like right out of the box, you can play this game. I don't think that's exactly true. I'm sure the game master is going to have some familiarity with the rules, but they do a lot of sidebars, and now you're rolling this, and this is what this means. Right. But the system is, I think, abstract enough that coming from just a D20 base or another game system, it's going to take some learning because there's no damage, no hit points. It's
we've only lost the D&D crowd, yeah.
Right. So it's a lot more abstracted, and people may have some trouble. But yeah, this is a huge amount of stuff for. So they're saying $200 retail.
Right. Oh.
So 91% off if you buy all of your stuff digitally. But yeah, take a look at that. I'll put a link in the description. And of course, it's an affiliate link, so help us out, guys. And check out the Dune bundle. If you're interested at all, this is everything. So, and these are all, it's Humble Bundle, so it's non-DRM PDFs.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was amazed. Yeah, so, yeah, they did a lot of work during that non-year of Dune. All right, so we were talking about Hasbro trying to license things out, and we know Games Workshop has already perfected this, but I think Games Workshop has jumped the shark. So we're looking at Call of Duty. So the annual update or the annual release of these military shooters. So Call of Duty now has a 40K collaboration.
Why not?
Yay! All right. So if you wanted to play Space Marines, Sisters of Battle, or the Fighting Men and Women of Cadia, Call of Duty is your platform for now. So the Season 2 Reloaded of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has 3 new Warhammer Store Bundles. So who knows how much, these are probably like $30, $30. But you get a pack. The first one is inspired by the Space Marine Scouts. So you get operator skins for either Ultramarines or Blood Angels. Okay. But it says inspired by, so I think it's, they're human scale model.
Well, that's
so,
it's
gonna I guess though all of this stuff is humans, like these 3 original packs. So you'll get the scout operators, You get Sisters of Battle, that's human scale, and then you'll basically get Imperial Guard, car skin, camouflage skins, including your Munitorium issued blades. But that's not all. So purchase one of these packs. But there's going to be a limited time game mode called Juggermosh, which will let you play Space Marines in this setting. They're still saying inspired by. So I
think that's because they don't want to. Okay, I don't know that much about video game, but I don't think they want to have to like completely rework.
So that the
assets, right? So it's just like. The UV texture map is inspired by, right?
Right. It looks like you're all wearing blue. But so you'll get additional access to Ultramar's Vengeance, the Bale's Wrath, and the Juggernaut Killstreak Skin. Okay. And it's all going to be Ultramarines and Blood Angels. So red and blue. Red versus blue. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. But so this is a short term, like a limited time game mode. But you will get to keep your Killstreak skins permanently if you have entered this. So you'll be able to...
Until we decide you can.
Yeah, right. Until we delete that content from the servers. Yes, so the first set is the Tracer Pack, which is the original set with the Scouts, is going to arrive 11th of March around a Warhammer-themed event in the game, I guess, Inquisitorial seal stickers and Space Marine calling cards, and then shortly followed by the Sisters of Battle and the Astra Militarum packs around the 14th. Okay. So, how long before we see Space Marines in Fortnite?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're
like
getting a little
next
silly.
month.
Yeah, and we already saw there was a power washer simulator that had a Adeptus Mechanicus theme. So. Yep. They're definitely anybody want a license? You want a license? You want to get one? Yeah. So.
Hey kid, you want a license?
Handing them out. Yep. So yeah, we'll keep. That wasn't strictly tabletop related, but it is this licensing thing that all of the publicly traded companies that have our tabletop games hostage are doing. So why not talk about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Coffee, Chris.
I'm not going to be able to get through this. Sorry.
Coffee.
I was actually taking a drink of mine legitimately.
Legitimately. Coffee has powered my creativity, my production for this channel. And unfortunately, coffee doesn't work anymore. About a cup a day.
So I need harder stuff.
I need something else. I need more. So about a cup a day is all I can tolerate now, and that doesn't last. That gets me through a couple hours of the morning, and any more than that, and I'm jittery, I'm irritable. Nobody wants to deal with me. But I have found something that may have changed all that, and it's in this little bottle. So Magic Mind is a what they call kind of a mental performance shot, I think is one of the terms that they use. So it's green tea based. So the caffeine origin of it is based in green tea, and it's not like an energy drink. Like you know how there's Monster and Red Bull with a ton of sugar and a lot, maybe too much caffeine, and it still gives you, with the addition of the sugar, probably gives you even more of a spike. And you feel great for like 10 minutes and then you want to take a nap.
Yes, you do.
So Magic Mind has kind of perfected a sustained release, and people have tried this. They wanted coffee to be able to do this for a while. Like we had bulletproof coffee or putting like coconut oil or something in your coffee, and that is to slow down the release of the caffeine, so you get a kind of sustained energy and focus benefit. But this product is giving you that same kind of sustained release without heavy caffeine consumption. Okay. So it's all the ingredients are all natural. They're sourced from the best suppliers, and of course, you don't have to worry about. There's no sugar. They're nut-free, vegan, keto, and paleo friendly. So the caffeine from the matcha, the green tea, has a more sustained release, and I've tried going strictly to green tea, and it's not enough. Like it
starts too slow.
Yeah, it starts slow, and it is sustained, but it starts slow. So the additional mushrooms and herbs in Magic Mind give you enough of that alertness, enough of what you expect from coffee. And of course, this can be taken in the morning with your coffee or tea, and it just means you can drink less coffee or tea, and the caffeine effect will be sustained. So lower your caffeine intake, which also means you may sleep better at night, because when I drank coffee throughout the day, if I didn't stop at a certain point, I was not going to be able to relax.
I've honestly tried stopping after a certain point in the day, and it just doesn't work.
Yes. So if you would like to try Magic Mind, we have a link. So you can go to magicmind.com/upturned. So magicmind.com/upturned, UPTURNED.
There's the focus going through again.
There it is. And use the code upturned20. So that'll give you 20% off of any purchase if you want to try, and it'll give you 56% off any subscription. So basically what they do, like most subscriptions, they give you like a full month supply that then renews, and you can pause or cancel at any time. So if you do something like that to try it, and they recommend at least trying it for 3 days to see if it gives you the effect that it wants, because it takes that kind of sustained try to really feel the effect. The first time that you use it, you may say, okay, I don't feel anything exactly yet, but it does build up.
It's kind of like anything. You gotta try
your
it
routine
more than once to see if it actually works. Right?
Yes. So I would recommend giving it a shot, because they let me try. They sent us as a promotion 5 days, and 5 days really did. I really did feel the effect after 5 days, and was able to.
On day 6?
Day 6, I was like, I'm just going back to bed. But the ability to kind of, be more productive in the morning, which is something that I had started to have trouble with, because I seem to be all of my productivity is happening at night.
Yep.
But you got to get up early in the morning if you got kids. So being productive at night is not going to work, at least for your sleep schedule. So, of course, they offer 100% money-back guarantee, no questions asked, and the refund comes through in 3 to 4 hours if you're not satisfied. So, yes, the link will be in the description, and use the code upturn20 to get your discount. And, so mental performance... a mental performance shot. So reclaim your brain, I think, is one of the it's one of the slogans that they said. So try Magic Mind and see if it works for you. So anything better than too much coffee.
If there's one thing I need to do, it's reclaim my mind.
Yes, reclaim your mind. So thank you, Magic Mind, and now back to our regularly scheduled program. All right. So Modifius. They're doing a lot of, so I think between Free League and Modifius, they're battling at some of these trade shows for licenses, because all of them are going heavy into the IPs, like video games and all kinds of comic book IPs. So Modifius is releasing a Mass Effect board game. Have you ever played Mass Effect?
I actually haven't.
It's surprising. It's one of my favorite. The series ended up being disappointing, but at least the very first game was a really nice. The writing was really good, and like the world building, like how just a simple conversation with an NPC like started to flesh out parts of the world. It was the writing was that good that you're like, I'm feeling this as like a living universe, and there's histories and things that conflict and things that are colliding, cultures that are colliding with each other, and it felt really. Really alive. And so this is a board game set, I think, during the events of Mass Effect 3.
Okay.
So Mass Effect board game, Priority Helgaz. I'm totally forgetting Mass Effect 3. Priority Hagalaz, let's call it. And so it's going to be so if you haven't, so the Legendary Edition, kind of all upscaled graphics, is available like for PC and stuff. If you want to try Mass Effect, that's probably the best way. It keeps getting cheaper and cheaper. But this board game, Priority Hagalaz, it was designed by, again, Eric M. Lang and Calvin Wong Tse Loon. And they're responsible for things like Quarriors, Duelist, Netrunner, Twilight Imperium. So a distinguished duo of game designers. So this is a cooperative, story-driven game with a card-driven AI. So you're playing against a card-based AI. So they allow you to play the 5 main characters of the setting: Shepard, Liara, Tali, Rex, and Garrus. So I'm sure some of your favorites aren't in there, but they will. So like I said, set in the Mass Effect 3 events. So you're the crew of the Normandy. The year's 2186. The Reapers have invaded the galaxy. The Council is ignoring you. The interesting thing too is you can make a choice between male or female Shepard. They give you both miniatures. So you don't have to make that. You can make your own decision. You can play it as you played it in the game. So the Council is ignoring Shepard. You're on the verge of war, and so you have to to prepare the Crucible, an ancient alien super weapon with your last chance to defeat the Reapers. So I think it's kind of a, you're on a clock and you're trying to beat, you're starting to power up this weapon and kind of beat the, so maybe a more satisfying ending than Mass Effect 3, at least, who knows. But the board game will give you 6 highly detailed miniatures, so the 5 crew members and then the 1 gender swap. And so pre-assembled plastic, male and female. And one thing that they said in this release, I don't think it's in their press release, but they said this is going to be a well under $100 board game.
Thank
so
goodness.
but they're really like emphasizing, because I think the scale of things that kind of Ameritrash, like tons of plastic, tons of tiles, and the thing itself weighs 20 pounds.
It's giant.
So they're trying to make this as reasonable as possible, and I think this is going straight to retail. There's no release date, and they're not talking about crowdfunding. So I think because it's a big enough license, it's going straight to retail. So 1 to 4 players, branching narrative that allows for multiple playthroughs. So it's card-driven AI, and it can unfold differently every time. And similar to the PC game, or I guess it's a console game as well, your early choices influence later missions. So as you play through things, who you killed or who you didn't kill will affect your whole campaign. So I thought that was a funny thing. I haven't heard about Mass Effect getting I think they did some comics, but after the initial game trilogy, it was kind of they're talking about sequels, but it hasn't quite gotten there. So Modifius is here to give you a tabletop experience. And finally, AIien has arrived. So we've talked about the Nexus platform by Demiplane, and so they're cooperating with Free League to do the AIien Nexus. So this is the digital option, your digital tool suite for campaigns. So digital rules, character sheets, dice, quick access to rules, and immersive content. So
I wonder if that means like soundtrack, or not soundtrack, but like atmospheric kind of music, because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because it seems like it's for devices. It's for it's for tablets and phones and laptops. But I think it's also something that will work, possibly remotely, because you'll all be connected. You're all sharing that data, but also in person. So you can, use it to track things. And the thing that they really emphasize is quick rules lookup. So maybe a lot of things are like hyperlinked. If you've got a description for an item, you can click on something, say, what the hell does that mean? And you click on it and look things up quickly, which is the advantage of digital rule books and things. So everything you need to run a campaign for your PC, laptop, tablet, or phone. So it's not a virtual tabletop. It's just like, I guess, D&D Beyond, or whatever it's called. The suite of, you create characters, you have your digital character sheets, you can keep track of everything, but you're not moving, tokens on a board. Right. So you're not playing with webcams and tokens on a board, but you are sharing a campaign. You can all log into a campaign.
So it's more like a campaign manager than the virtual tabletop.
Yes. Right. And everything is there. So the only problem that I see with it, I think, like D&D Beyond and all VTTs, is the content is proprietary within that you have to buy it again. So if you want to use this suite, you buy the materials, you buy the core book, you buy the adventure that you're playing. But if your game master has a subscription, then it's quite a number of people. I think it's up to like 20 people can share of those books. So everybody so you basically have to buy it once, and if you kind of all chip in and share the costs, if you've got a group of 5 people, that will reduce it considerably.
A subscription that runs out, or is it like a one-time purchase?
Oh, no, I think a subscription. It's a recurring subscription, but you can probably cancel or pause it when you're not playing. But while you're playing, to be able to share that, you'll have to be a subscriber. The core rules will allow you to create and play. So basically everything that's available in the core book is in the game, and already they have supported things like Avatar Legends is there, Pathfinder 2, the Marvel Multiverse, Vampire the Masquerade, Candela Obscura, your personal favorite, Mutant Year Zero, 5th edition, and coming soon, Starfinder 2E.
Sorry, 5th edition of what? Oh, sorry.
Yes, 5th edition of something that no one wants to. Anyhow, so I thought that was it's good to see that they keep growing. I wonder though how popular, because they'll keep adding games. They need to get subscriptions. And I guess once you start to invest in that, and if you find it useful, you're going to keep your group coming back to it. So I hope that it does well for them. But yeah, still, that's a really frustrating thing. I own the physical book. I own a PDF of the book, and now I got to buy it one more time. Yeah.
If you want to use Demi.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, seeing it as a system. Someday they're going to come up with an all-you-can-eat, right? So you pay like $20 a month, and every game that they have content for you can play. That would be a way to keep people, because then but I don't want to lose access to like these 12
Or
games.
like I was asking before, like, okay, sure, a subscription service, pardon me, to use the platform, but then like a one-time purchase of whatever game content, right? Like I've purchased I've purchased the AIien pack, right? That's mine forever. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So that is what happens is the digital content is a one-time purchase.
Right, okay.
It's just a subscription to share it.
Yep.
So you can't share it as without being a subscriber. So people can log in, but they then have to have their own. They have to buy their own AIien book.
Right.
But if you log into your subscription account and you'll probably be the GM, then you can share. So yeah, that's a thing. So but they're claiming it speeds up game prep, makes it easier to learn,
You know what
of course
speeds up game prep?
What?
Running a module.
Oh yes, that's right. That does
Not
help a lot.
sorry, not necessarily, because you can kind of read through it, right?
Yeah. But so they keep growing, and we'll see what if they can weather the storm of all these VTTs and digital solutions that are coming.
Well, I wonder if they're going to weather the storm specifically because they're not a VTT.
That may be true, because you can play it it's useful in person or online. Yeah. That may be true. Maybe avoiding that, and also the I'm sure the cost of maintaining a VTT platform is much more expensive than a digital suite of
Probably.
tools. Yeah.
Like I wonder if you could
website.
if you run like a Zoom meeting or something, right? Like just share a screen. To use these things. I mean,
yes, yeah. No, that could do it. Yeah, and I that would be an interesting thing to actually put out a poll, or kind of reach out to people and see how are you doing things. Like you're not using strictly one virtual tabletop. What's the hybrid that people have done? Because I'm sure they've come up with all kinds of very interesting combinations of the free tools that are available, and like you're saying, like you're sharing.
We're going to
screens
map this on a Google Sheet.
Right. But it'd be funny. I'm sure there's there's probably all kinds of subreddits and places where people are discussing this. But that would be interesting to see how ingenious some of the approaches were, and also the combination of in-person and remote that people have been able to come up with. But Hybrid. That is going to do it for this week. So where can people find you?
On Blue Sky, which is not going back to X, but Blue Sky is pretty sluggish.
Oh, no.
And Instagram. That's Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where it's just all kinds of stuff I'm talking about.
Nice.
So how about you?
So I did it this week.
Yeah.
So I streamed live my cartoon. So Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch, on Twitch. And there is no more Twitter.
Nope, there isn't.
And so I draw the cartoon, eat some Japanese snacks. There were some Tom and Jerry themed snacks, some cheese, chocolate.
Well, I'm disappointed now. They should be mouse and cat flavored, obviously. Come on.
Delicious. So if you'd like to read my cartoon, go to gocomics.com/domestic abuse. But if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, you should become a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
Yes. Go to patreon.com/upturntable and support us here at the weekly and on the channel for Upturned Table, and tell us what you like. Tell us what you want to see more of. Let us know what Margaret Weiss said on X.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. Thank you, Miguel. And we will do this again next week. So Upturned Table on all social media. And thank you so much for everyone that has become a YouTube member and patron. We appreciate your support. Yes, beautiful. And of course, the audio for this goes up on the RSS feed for Patreon if you want to listen to just the sweetened audio. So that's it for this week.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye.
Sweetened audio.
All right. So how is everyone doing? Hello, Kick. All right. Oh, yes. So Vietnam, you'll own nothing and be happy. Oof, that's where we're headed with digital libraries of everything. Nice. So how's it going? Oh, no, Matt. I wonder... So, yeah, Matt was on the cartoon stream yesterday, so maybe he's had enough of me. Yeah, I hope... I think one of our players may be ill, so I hope we do Dune tomorrow. Yeah, I forgot to promote that, but maybe it was good. And an ambulance. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we're doing Dune or not tomorrow, but that's the plan. We did our session 0, so house, planet, and character creation. And our first session is supposed to be tomorrow, so about the same time. But we'll see. Nice. We're talking about, yeah, the old school creators on social media. Nice. Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah. Soviet Gnome saying, yeah, Toys R Us is back. They're actually doing physical stores again. That's got to be a hard, because even the people that didn't even need to make money, like the big, what are those called? But the, toy stores in like Manhattan and stuff that just need to be basically showrooms for a company. Kind of prestige stuff, that's all gone too. Nice. Yeah, I wonder. Yes, good to see everybody in the chat. Yeah, so that's crazy. Oh yes, no problem, Orcus. Yeah, the session 0. I think for our Star Trek session 0, somebody posted a comment. Yeah, they have an app that basically takes you through this really quickly. Yeah, we don't do exciting session zeros because we're kind of like, thinking and fleshing stuff out. There's a ton of dead air, and I think it's hard to stay awake through that. So that's something that's probably never going to be able to get edited into a listenable form. But since we it might be something interesting. Like if you get involved in the campaign, it might be fun to listen to the decision making that happened early on, and especially with I like how Matt and Will kind of bounce off each other because they love making antagonistic characters. So when one of them has an idea, the other one is trying to find the foil or the what's going to be a pain in the ass for this character. And so I think they have a nice back and forth that happens during the session zero stuff. But when it's a new system and especially a new world, we're kind of feeling our way through it. There's a lot of a lot of quiet time. So I think we've lost Agent Carolina. Couldn't make it either. But it's very sleep inducing, but maybe that's very functional for some people. Just put on one of our session zeros and you'll be out like a light. I'm excited for Dune. And the interesting thing is, of course, in that setting, Arrakis has influence over everything because it's, kind of the Middle East that powers the entire known universe. So there will always be the effects of it, but I wonder if this group they will probably never make it to Dune. Like there will never be desert, in the desert at any time. So we may see an interesting campaign where they're feeling the presence, and also we're setting it early. So the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen was just born, so he's a toddler at this point. And there's a different emperor, the Carino, the fourth is what's his name? So the emperor that from the book and the films is I think he's born, possibly will be born soon. Is not in power yet. His grandfather is on the throne, so we're at the very end of his rule. So we went, I guess, like 50 years before. Or no, like closer to 75, I think. And they 75 years before the setting of Dune, but that allows us to do some interesting things. So the Harkonnens have just taken over, have just been given Arrakis, and so the house that they kicked off, there's some interesting things going on with them. They kind of lost a trade war or technology kind of war with Ix, with the Telexian. Kind of house that is occupying, or the people that were basically making the highliners for the emperor. And so there's some interesting tensions that we're not going to be stepping on any like known storylines, but there'll still be all the same tensions. The navigators and the Bene Gesserit and the Empire will still have nice tensions and a little kind of avoiding the event. So I thought that was an interesting decision that the players made. Let's kind of back it up just enough so that we're not speaking to named characters. And that's nice too. They do, Modiphius does give you stats. Like they stat out all of the characters from the books basically in the back of the core book. So you can do that. And even their starting adventure, or at least what they did in the beta test, was you were a forward team for at Arakeen to look for spies and booby traps and stuff, and that was the adventure that they gave you, and some pre-gen PCs to do that with. But you spoke before you left. You spoke to Duke Leto, and it's like, okay, and the shutout Mapes was there, I think, and so that there was a few. I think we recorded that, so we did that with Idle Red Hands, and there's a few awkward moments when I'm saying, "This Paul, keep an eye on him." I'm saying like things during the conversations, and people are like, So that like known storylines and known characters is a little bit less fun because you have to play the character. You can't meta game, too much, but. They could accidentally kill the baby Baron. It could happen. They traveled back in time just to kill the baby Vladimir. Yeah, so, and I'm interested. I'm going to read what has been written. So, I don't know. Fortunately or unfortunately, they're using, I think, a lot of the Brian Herbert timeline and things that have been fleshed out in the prequel novels and the kind of filler novels that have been produced for the Dune verse. Since then, I've been using the reference of that Dune encyclopedia, the Dune encyclopedia that was done in the 80s, but that doesn't match timeline-wise, so I'll go with the timeline that's in the book, and the things that they reference in the supplemental books and stuff, I'll go with that, but we may end up making some changes just to make it our own if the players are like, hey, let's not have that be a thing. So that was the interesting part of it, is kind of deciding how we're gonna make our universe, and if we're ever gonna make it to Dune. Nice. But so the first session could be tomorrow. We'll have to see. I'll look out for messages and see how everyone's feeling. I don't want anybody to be miserable and struggling to just stay online, because we play later their time, so we play kind of after dinner, like late into the evening, West Coast time, and it's like afternoon, lunchtime basically for me. So we'll see how that goes. But I hope it's fun. I hope it's an interesting thing. I'm struggling, though. That was the thing that we had with John Carter as well, is I'm struggling for visual material. So even though Modiphius has produced a lot of work, there's not a lot of, aside from all of the NPC cards they produced for the Agents of Dune. I am saying Doom. Agents of Dune set. There's not a lot of, because I was doing... like for Star Trek and stuff, I'd go through the books and just kind of screen grab for tokens like NPCs and stuff, because you have to be able to kind of quickly generate supporting characters and things for both Star Trek and Dune as well, because we have house members. Yeah, maybe it's my nose that doesn't let me say Dune. There's a lot of in your house, a lot of the roles and official positions that need to be filled, and you don't really need to create those characters until you come across them. But we will probably need to do that on the fly, and I just don't have great art assets, so I don't know. I was dabbling with AI, which was frustrating, but the one thing that it does, apart from the frustrating parts about the legality of it, the one thing that the AI can do is give you a consistent visual style. Because some of the stable diffusion, or a couple of the programs allow you to kind of limit things to a style. And I wish just Photoshop Photoshop had better ways to filter, because I'd love to just find art assets and then just stylize them so they looked like they were, because when you mix like a photograph and a digital light character illustration and then a very finished, it just looks very haphazard and thrown together, and I wanted something visually to look a little bit more, I don't know, together. And that was the nice thing about the Free League games, is Blade Runner had a ton of stuff that you could grab pictures from, so every character could be represented, and same with Dragonbane, at least with that starter. Since we were playing the pre-gens, we had character art for everything, and that makes doing videos and even on the VTT, that makes it look that much nicer. And it's just something that was bugging me. It's like I'm running into that same thing. But Matt suggested Coriolis has a ton of art assets that was developed for it, and because it has a Middle Eastern theming, like a Persian, Ottoman Empire kind of theming, that might work well with Dune. So there may be some nice atmospheric pictures and things, but that I can use for the settings. Because basically we're not really, and especially for Dune, there's not going to be counting squares on a map. So I don't need any battle maps or anything, but I do like to have scenes that, are evocative and kind of put the players, at least suggest where the players are, that, kind of go beyond what I can describe. Dune or bust. Yes. That's why I'm just going to railroad them straight to Arrakis. They're just going to have to go there and deal with it. So it should be it should be fun. I really like what they've come up with so far. And the collaborative storytelling, I think, is going to be really fun in this, because so much of the mechanics of it allow you to say, oh, and this knife that I have had concealed, or there's a lot of creating assets and creating situations and having to overcome things that I think will be fun. I'm I'm curious how long it will take them to kind of get into that mindset of, okay, wait a minute, I'm just trying to put, basically put a condition or put a I'm blanking on what the game calls them, but put some trait. Yeah, put a trait on them, like a unconscious or dead or whatever. So that's basically what combat is just giving someone the trait of out of commission or decapitated or whatever. And so it is abstracted in that way where you're not like trying to take down their hit points, but at the same time giving them that trait. Something very severe like that is you're going against one of their skills, and it's when it's combat, it's battle. So if they have like a 7 in battle, basically you have to have 7 successes over an extended task to give them a trait of unconscious or run through with your blade or whatever you're trying to do to them. And so similar to the extended tasks in Star Trek where you're trying to hack into a computer, unlock a door or something, you have conditions and you take kind of slow steps toward that. So that's how they handle combat, is making it an extended task based on a conflict. So it's a difficulty set by the defender, and then you have several chances to overcome that. But of course they have a ability to do the same thing to you. They're stabbing back. So I'm curious, without hit points, without how much damage does my sword do, I'm curious if they'll really enjoy that combat, or it's like, oh, this is just too loosey-goosey. I don't know, whatever the explanation would be. Hey, Abyss. Yeah. I think it's fun. It's a very different way, and it's even further because there's no D6s. The challenge dice that you use to kind of give you point values for how much damage you did or how much armor or how many points of damage your armor blocks or whatever, that doesn't exist. So you're only rolling D20s, and you're only ever rolling 5 D20s at the most, and trying to get a number of successes on those dice to overcome either the challenge level or I guess it all ends up making it a challenge level, but the level goes up and down depending on, well, I have a very good sword, well, they have very good armor, so things will basically cancel each other out until you get to this value that you have to beat, and then using those 2d20 mechanics and momentum and determination, those other points, that other currency in the game. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hey. Wrong account. Oh no. Orcus accidentally logged into the Abyss account. Oh, you guys. I'm so glad we have all these sock puppets, though. It makes the chat look so alive. Just keep switching it up. But yeah. So I hope we're around for a session tomorrow, but we'll see. But if not, definitely the week after. We may be able to even do makeup sometime during next week, depending. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope it's entertaining, because it's more. The big difference between this and Blade Runner is a case file, and you're very focused, and you're on a clock, and this is basically going to be, who do you want to talk to? Where do you want to go? It's pretty open world. It's going to be pretty sandboxy. I mean, I'm going to be throwing things at them to try to, people are going to be calling in favors. People are going to be trying to kill them. They have, that was the unfortunate thing, because we rolled for their enemy house, and their enemy house was the highest danger level possible. So it's just another minor house, but they're in the Canley level, which means that house wants to wipe them out. So anytime I can spend threat to bring that enemy into the into what's happening, it's going to be like, we're trying to kill you every time. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't get too repetitive. But all right. So yeah, let's wrap it up. So I hope Matt is doing okay too. We'll see what's going on for this week. Oh yeah, Abyss. Yes. Have you ever considered Blades in the Dark? I would love to. I would love to try that. I have the book, and I like heist based stuff. I like criminals and jobs and stuff. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, I'd like to talk them into to doing that, or at least was it Rebel Scum? It's not Rebel Scum, but the sci-fi variant of that would be fun. Yeah, but yeah, that would be. I would really like to run, after running the Blade Runner case file stuff. I'd love to run something that's a heist with these guys and just see how things go, because they make really good like narrative and character based decisions. So for heist stuff, it's like, nope, this is what my guy would do. He's an asshole. He's gonna try to take it all, and he's gonna try to make off with the entire score. So yeah, we'll talk to them about that. Yeah. But it's good, yeah, and I think Terry's been a nice inclusion too, because and it may give Matt and Will a little more time to think, because when it was just the two of them, it's basically I'm always talking to one of them, so they have to be pretty quick with their decisions. But with the third player, I think it'll broaden things out enough, and especially for this game, they're occupying a lot of different roles now, so I think that'll be good as far as who's the smooth talker, who's the intelligence, and who's the muscle. I think that'll work well, but we'll find out. All right, so yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and thank you so much for the patrons and members on the channel. And Abyss, you have this, I've got to do another higher level badge. You've been a member too long now. Your badge is getting dated, so we need a even higher level member badge for you. But it matches the color of your name, so I like the Cybertronic color coordination. But yeah, so check in tomorrow. You'll get a notification if you're a subscriber on the channel of when we go live, and we go live on Twitch, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, if you want to catch it on one of those platforms. And yeah, so let's do this again next week, and hopefully some Dune tomorrow. So take care, everyone, and thank you for your support. Upturned Table on all social media. See you next time. Bye.
Whoa!